So today's deck tech, Splintertwin, also known as Blue-Red Splintertwin. This deck is probably one of the best, if not the best, deck in Standard at the moment. I really like this deck, and I'm not going to do that. So, anyways, this deck focuses on the Splintertwin and Deceiver Exarch combo. If you don't know what it does, it's pretty simple. You put a Splintertwin on a Deceiver Exarch that has been in play for at least since the beginning of your turn. And he taps to put a copy of himself into play. The copy of himself untaps himself. He taps to put a copy in play. The copy of It's a Gruesome Encore. It keeps on going. Ad nauseum, ad infinitum, etc. As much as you want, as much damage as you want, it does. In increments of 1. If your opponent has a way to gain life for each creature that enters play or some such effect, it won't do anything. But it usually kills most decks instantly. So the deck was all around that combo, and the cards in it were just meant to shore that up. So you get Oracle there is to slow down your opponent and find your combo pieces. Preordain, find your combo pieces. Spell Pierce, another way to slow down your opponent, mess with your opponent. Mana Leak, as we've seen before. Into the Royal as a catch-all. Now, it's not the best card in the game. It's pretty expensive to kick. But at the same time, it deals with pretty much any permanent. The only permanents it doesn't deal with are lands and protection from blue permanents. So, definitely effective card. Jace Bellerin's there to make sure you win the Jace Wars. If the game gets drawn out, you don't draw your combo early. You want to make sure that you're drawing cards more than your opponent. So, that's important. So, there's Inferno Titans there in case your main plan gets disrupted. You still have a way to kill your opponent, besides Jace's Fate Sealing. So the mana base is pretty simple. A lot of basic lands, 4 Scalding Tarns, 2 Terramorphic Expanses, and 3 Tectonic Edges. Flores actually had 4 Tectonic Edges in his deck and no Terramorphic Expanses. I cut 1 to add some more mana fixing in here. This deck is great, but sometimes it gets some weird mana, and I wanted to make the mana a little bit more efficient, costing myself a little bit of power in the mana base. You can make your own decisions in that place. You really want to play 26 lands in the main deck, but beyond that, it's pretty much your choice. You pretty much have to play 4 Scalding Tarns. The mana is pretty atrocious. These are really important for the deck. They also shuffle away cards with Jace. But your number of Terramorphics and Tectonic Edges can vary. Of note, your opponent's Tectonic Edges are absolutely horrible against this deck. The only things they can target are your own Tectonic Edges, which is a bad deal for them. Also, all the lands in this deck come into play untapped, with the exception of Terramorphic Expanses. That's one of the reasons why he didn't have any in his deck. I thought it was not worth the trouble. So I'll pause this, and I'll see what this guy is doing here. Sorry for that interruption there. So, yeah, the mana is just great. The deck is so fast, and it can kill you as early as turn 4 with the combo. That's always something you have to be aware of. As Flores is talking about, he says your opponent has to respect the combo, and they do. Or they just got to play through it, and if you have the combo, they're just dead. The great thing is that against Cobblade, if they don't have a stick an early threat, they're stuck playing turns and turns of draw go with you, and you're just the better deck for that situation. So I really like this deck. Let's move on to the sideboard and look at some of the technology here. My sideboard is radically different than Floris's. Well, kind of different. It's more focused against aggro decks than his. So we'll start off with Combust here. This is for the mirror match. The mirror match has grown, obviously, since Flores won his 5K, or what is 9K or something with his list. Combust says, as long as you have 2 mana in play and a red mana, your opponent cannot kill you with the combo. This card cannot be answered by anything that's in the normal list, at least. So it ensures that when they try to Splintertwin up their Deceiver Exarch, this gets through. Doesn't matter if they have counterspells. Doesn't matter what they have. So that counters it. Can't be redirected by Spellskite. It's just great. Consecrated Sphinx, alternate win condition. It's another way to diversify your threats. Sometimes I take on 1 Inferno Titan and bring in 1 Consecrated Sphinx. because if your opponent's playing Surgical Distractions, they might be able to take out all your combo pieces. Again, I don't think Surgical Distraction is the best card to bring in against this deck. At the same time, people do, and you want to have diverse threats in that case. Dispel is great here. Sometimes you wish it was Spell Pierce, but sometimes this is just outperforms everything. The idea is it counters all removal, almost all removal, on your Deceiver or Inferno Titan. It also counters every counter spell. So unlike Spell Pierce, it doesn't stop Planeswalkers or sorceries, but it's just fantastic, and what it does right when it does what it does right. I'm sorry, I can't talk today. So, basic island on the sideboard. What is that? Is this guy crazy? Maybe I am crazy, but let me tell you why I have a basic island on my sideboard. The idea is in the mirror match and a couple of other matches, you want to play a lot of draw go. And when you're playing draw go, you want to hit your land drops. So I wanted to bring in a 27th land in those situations. Normally, if you kept in your Seagate Oracles, which I take out in certain matchups, you're just using them to find land. Why not just have more land in your sideboard? That's my opinion. I'm not sure if it's the best yet. Again, we're still testing this. This is a new set. The nice thing about the set also is that the Seaver Exarch is the only thing new from it. And if you can pick them up, I don't know, for 1 or 2 tickets, it shouldn't be that expensive to set this deck up if you already have the Jaces. 4 Lightning Bolts, a nod to aggro decks. I haven't actually got to play them yet. The last daily I played was all control matchups. You don't bring this in against Callblade. This is not meant for those decks. This is meant for decks like Vampires, who are just going to play all their dudes and play Dismembers to stop your combo. And you need to make sure, and Mono Red, you just need to make sure you buy yourself some time. Essentially what you're going to do is take out, you're going to leave you always leave in each 4 of the combo pieces, unless it's a straight situation. I've never seen one yet. But changing the Mana Leaks and the Spell Pierces and the End of the Royals into different cards is an option, and that's what you want to do. These are the options you have in your sideboard. Sometimes you get the Seagate Oracles, but Seagate Oracle is actually pretty effective against aggressive decks. It's a body, and it also helps you find your combo. Manic Vandal is there against Callblade and Spellskite decks. Just a great way to mess with what they're doing. It's great, just great. If you stick a Splintertwin on it, they can't resolve artifacts until they get rid of this guy, so it's pretty important. In Pyroclasm, then a nod to super fast aggro decks, Mono Red, Elves, Soul Sisters, which can be a problem. This is also good against Soul Sisters. Soul Sisters is kind of a problem because they have 8 creatures that prevent you from comboing off, as well as a lot of just little nasty creatures. And the creatures can grow out of Pyroclasm range fairly easily. Some of them, the Johnny's Primate Kid. But you just got to make sure you keep them under control. The 2 creatures that prevent combo from going off are Soul's Attendant, I believe, and Suture Priest. Suture Priest deals you with 1 damage for every creature you put into play. So unless your life is higher than theirs, you can't combo them off. And usually their life is higher because they put a lot of life gain effects. And Soul's Attendant gains them a life every time a creature comes into play. So you're putting in a 1 power creature and they're gaining 1 life. It doesn't actually do anything. So that's pretty important there. Overall, I like my sideboard. I'm not sure it's the best yet. I'm not even sure the main board lands are the best yet, but it's working really well for me. I really like this. So I suggest you try out this deck. It actually does really well against Callblade. It's not an auto win, I don't think, as Flores was saying, but it's pretty nice matchup. Callblade is adapting though, so I wouldn't ever call it an auto win, but I really like this matchup. So we'll see you in the daily.